Okay, I just had to share something real quick. Okay, as you know, I'm the biggest critic of One More Day. Okay, but it looks like they're putting Peter and MJ back together in what should be Amazing Spider-Man number 802, but for some reason they're calling it Amazing Spider-Man number 1. I don't know why they have to renumber every single time you change creators now, especially with a book that's closing in on that just passed 8,000 issues. Come on, let it go. If Marvel Comics lasts, please let it go. But but here's the thing. I am definitely going to give this book a chance. Now, if it turns out to be a fake out, because one theory I have is that the editorial is just trying to fake us out. They have a big crossing universe event called Spider-Geddon coming up in, I think it's October this year. And I have a feeling that because of its numbers, they successfully killed the sales of One More Day of Renew Your Vows. I'm sorry, of Renew Your Vows. It was outselling the Amazing Spider-Man, but they successfully killed its sales by nuking its art, by putting on one of the most talented, most talentless artists I've ever seen on One More Day, on Renew Your Vows. So that's something that I think is going to get is going. So I think they're going to kill off the Spider family or do something to end their book come October, because they've nuked the sales. They've nerfed the sales. They nerfed the art, and that nuked the sales. And they'll get away with it because they'll say, well, that book isn't really needed anymore because we have Peter and MJ in a relationship in the main book in the 616 timeline, and isn't that what you really wanted, a One More Day to be undone? And of course, it's not undoing One More Day. Undoing One More Day would involve some sort of epic time travel plot with probably Doctor Strange involved in it, where he senses the deal with Mephisto and sees how it plays out and how it's wrecked the multiverse or something. Basically, here's the thing: One More Day came out 4 years before Flashpoint, but at the time, I expected it to play out like Flashpoint. That's why I didn't stop reading Spider-Man comics until 2008, because I held on for months afterwards, waiting for the moment to happen where Peter realizes how badly he screwed things up, because his not being married to MJ should have changed all sorts of things about the timeline. And I was waiting for that moment to drop where we find out something is completely wrong with the time. Something is completely wrong now. He's completely screwed the timeline. He's completely screwed the future. And he has to go back and make the selfless choice this time, instead of the one that just absolves him of responsibility and guilt by just erasing his memory, So that's what I was expecting. So and the editorial staff at Marvel hasn't changed since this happened. Yeah, the writers changed on the Amazing Spider-Man a couple times, but hey, J. Michael Straczynski didn't want to write that story anyway. He was forced to. So here's what I think. I think a few months after it, they will break Peter and MJ up, and they will have her go back and bounce with whoever else. If they're serious about bringing back the Fantastic Four, they might have her hanging out with the Fantastic Four or something like that. Maybe the Thing or Johnny Storm's new girlfriend or something like that. I don't know, but that's my gut feeling. But that comes from learning to distrust Marvel over more than a decade. However, it can't be worse than Batman number 50, so I'm going to give it a shot. And here's another thing that's got me wanting to give it a shot. You know how Comicsgate is all about pros not responding professionally to criticism, and how I've talked about how Marvel, I talked about in my manga versus comic book sales video, about how Marvel used to respond to criticism and how that's not alive now. Well, here's something. Adrian Paladin commented on her Twitter feed that to thank Nick Spencer for undoing it, and somebody commented that MJ's face was a little creepy. I don't know. I don't see it that much, I guess, but somebody made that comment. And instead of going off and calling up Nazis or, pointing out that just how good the art on this book is. I've seen its pages. This book's art is good. It's good enough to be considered get a subscription. And now I'm pretty sure I am, just to support this. Because look, we're getting professionalism. We're getting the old Marvel back. That's one creepy face. And Paladin, I think is how you say your name. I'm not sure. I never met anybody with that name in real life, so I'm not sure how you pronounce that name. I'm not sure if you say the A with its name or with the A sound. The artist is at Ryan Otley. I personally really like his art. I cannot imagine Invincible without his work, and I think he's perfect for Spidey. And Ryan Otley, here's how he responds. I admit, I do occasional bad faces. Still working on it. Deadlines make me rush sometimes, and a bad face gets through. I definitely wish I spent more time perfecting that close-up. This, this to me, this is what I used to see in Marvel Comics. We were all friends. Any criticism was was offered in the spirit of friendship and and when the fans used to criticize, and this is something that I wish and here's the fans, don't get personal either. Stop getting personal about every little thing. So here's a lesson for the fans. Do it in the spirit that it used to be meant in too. The fans aren't 100% faultless. That's my fault. But the way Marvel has positioned it as us versus them to some of the fans who overreact to stuff doesn't help. And this is the type of response you used to get in the letter section. It was all in good fun, and if you said something, it was like this. It was understood that you were just offering constructive criticism, and we were all laughing together because we all know that we screw up, and we all know that 99% of us can't do the type of art that Marvel Comics artists do. At least that used to be the case when they had standards. But anyway, this is my response. This is how you respond to critics. This is the spirit of at Marvel, with everyone being fans who are just having fun together and trying to make great books. I am subscribing to this one now. This is talent. And yeah, I'm doing that. So yeah, support this book and let Marvel know that you don't want this discontinue, that you want them to continue down the road of putting Pure MJ together, and support Ryan Otley, because he seems to be one of the good guys who treats people as members of the human race and not a bunch of evil monsters out for his blood. I just can't believe I'm getting this kind of professionalism from Marvel. I mean, this is a great day. This is a great day. They've started on the road to repairing One More Day in the main timeline, and we got this. I'm choosing to see this all as optimistically. And even if it does get undone, that'll be because of editorial mandate. And just like I didn't hold it against J. Michael Straczynski, I won't hold it against Nick Spencer or Ryan Otley, because it'll, but here he is. I just can't believe it. So yeah, support Ryan Otley and support this book, because Spider-Man seems to be on the right track for the first time in 11 years.